Hi. My name is Erica LaShawn. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome. It is 1:20, 12:35 a.m. I'm back again. Um, so I like to jump into it. I get annoyed with like other stuff. I like to jump right into it. So I'm looking at all right, let's start. Do it right. Was the Wizard of Oz a curse? A cursed set? So, I just kind of stumbled on this or whatever, and I just kind of was looking like, wait, things were on with that movie, and people love the movie. Everyone loves the movie. We all kind of saw it, but there were rumors talking about a curse and stuff like that. I'm not going too far with that. I won't say that the word curse. However, all right, was the Wizard of Oz cursed? The truth behind the dark stories about the Judy Garland classic. Yeah, okay, so Olivia, 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 girl. Olivia B. Waxman, Waxman, um, comes from, I don't know, because I be printing like crazy. But it was August 14th, 2019. And I don't know the outlet because I be clicking like crazy. Back on my paper. Anyway, so Thursday, this is 2019, so just do the math. Thursday marks 80 years since the August 15th, 1939 Hollywood premiere of the film classic The Wizard of Oz. The story of a tornado that hits Kansas and transports a young girl named Dorothy, played by Judy Garland, to a magical place called Oz, where she embarks on a journey to track down the wizard who can help her go home. I have to do this, sorry. The Hollywood studio MGM had pulled out all of the stops for the movie, spending 3 million, about 55 million today, desperate to match the commercial success of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and it worked. The film won 2 Academy Awards for its music, Over the Rainbow, won Best Original Song, and made Judy Garland famous. In addition to earning nominations for Best Picture, Best Cinematography, Art Direction, and Special Effects. Commercially speaking, it made decent money when it was released, but made even more money after CBS aired it for the first time on November 3rd, 1956. All right, let's get right to it. So this piece did true and false. True and false. All right. Quote unquote, some of these special effects have never been done before, says Algene Harmetz, Harmetz, a former New York Times Hollywood correspondent who wrote The Making of the Wizard of Oz, which revealed the dis, 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 disastrous, a disastrous filmmaking process. There were no unions at that time. Stars and lesser players were indentured servants for studios. But not everything you may have heard about the problems on the set is true. I think it's a biased in truth and was magnified, says Ann Edwards, author of Judy Garland, a biography. So here's what's real and what's myth in some of the most popular theories. So, okay, we all saw the Wizard of Oz. If you didn't, okay, they even went and put it in color. I was there for that too. So they kind of ran it back through the machine and put the color on there. I've seen it in both forms, black and white and in color. All right, true. This is true. The makeup made actors sick. Buddy Ebsen, Ebsen, was originally cast in the role of the Tin Woodman, aka the Tin Man, but he was essentially poisoned by the makeup, which was made of pure aluminum dust. 9 days after filming started, he was hospitalized, sitting under an oxygen tent. When he was not getting better fast enough, the filmmakers hired Jack Harley, Haley, to be the Tin Man instead. This time, instead of applying the aluminum powder, the makeup artists mixed it into a paste and painted it on him. He did develop an infection in his right eye that needed medical attention, but it ended up being treatable. Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West and was the one tipped to Hermes off to the turmoil on the set. Y'all feel me? So Margaret Hamilton tipped off Hermes on the set. More than 3 decades later, for her book in 1977, got burns, and the makeup artists had to rush to remove her copper makeup so that it wouldn't seep through her wounds and become toxic. Unlike Ebsen, she didn't get fired because they could live without her on the set for several more weeks. Next, false. An actor who played a munchkin hanged himself on set. I've heard, I kind of heard about this stuff, but here I go. In a scene where Dorothy, the Scarecrow, who is Ray Bolger, Bolger, and the Tin Man, Jack Harley, are skipping down the yellow brick road singing, "We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz." Thank you. It was in quotes. Some think the dark moving figure hanging from a tree in the background is an actor who hanged himself on set. That sound like a lie. Because if that happened, they would have cut him down and kept on filming. They wouldn't have filmed with him hanging up there like that. Anyway, moving forward. More likely, it's one of the exotic birds that the filmmakers borrowed from the Los Angeles Zoo in order to create a wilderness setting, according to the fact-checking website Snoops.com. The rumor has been circulating around since 1998, the time of the 50th anniversary of the film's release. Whatever, child. If one of the munchkins hanged him or herself, ain't nobody filming that. Anyway, true. Someone stepped on Toto. Side note, I was Dorothy for Halloween because I like to dress up. I like to, I'm into it. When I moved to New York, I noticed wow, adults still get into it because I'm from Michigan. And when we dress up, we're kids. Once we get older, we do not mess with it. We just don't. We just don't. So when I moved to New York, I was like, oh my God, I love it. Adults be dressing up, and I be right along with them. True, true, true. Someone stepped on Toto. Oh, I forgot. So, I was Dorothy or whatever, and I went to a taping of Wendy Williams, her show, because you could, she did Halloween shows. They kind of tweaked it where you had to go, and it wasn't on Halloween. I went when it was. I went like I've been. It was on Halloween when I was there. Okay, and okay, an actor playing one of the Wicked Witch of the West's soldiers accidentally jumped on top of. Oh, and I had Toto in tow. So I was, and I had some red suede platform heels. Cute. And I had to buy the costume comes like a regular Dorothy looking costume, but I bought a candy cane. For those who don't know, a candy cane or a loop, whatever you want to call it, is something that you put on as an undergarment that will poof your dress out. So I had me a candy cane and everything. Tool and all. Oh, I was about to say something. None of your business. Okay. All right. So somebody stepped on. I had Toto. Sorry. I had Toto. Because Toto didn't come with the costume. So I had to I ran to Party City. And I got me a basket with a little Toto. I had me a basket and a little dog. There's pictures floating around. Whatever. So I had Toto. So I was already. I was like a black Dorothy. My hair was big and curly and natural and big and poofy and curly, red lipstick. I was like Dorothy, but not really, but really. All right, so and I had Toto, and he was in all the shots. But accidentally jumped on top of Dorothy's Toto. Carl Spitz, Spitz, the dog trainer on set, told Hermetz the dog, in parentheses, a female canine terrier named Terry, sprained its foot, and Spitz had to get a canine double. Terry, the dog, did recover and returned to the set a few weeks later. Oh, Toto, good. He was like, this leg gonna be all right. Probably false. Judy Garland was molested by actors playing munchkins. I kind of heard that. I don't know. In a memoir by Judy Garland's third husband. No, you ain't writing a book, though. Sid Luft, Luft. If these hiccups come, I'm going to cure them right in front of y'all. Published Post in 2017, he writes that after bar hopping in Culver City, the actors who played the Munchkins would make Judy's life miserable by putting their hands under her dress, quote unquote. Hermes said, it's true that the actors would go drinking near the Culver City Hotel where they stayed, but she says their interactions with Garland did not rise to the level of what Luft described. Quote unquote, nobody on the movie ever saw her or heard of a Munchkin assaulting her, says Hermes. Garland did say the drinking was annoying in an interview with talk show host Jack Paar, Paar, but experts on Julie's life say that her rant about being scarred by the rowdy behavior on set may have been a deflection from the real damage she suffered during that time. at the hands of the studio. Garland was only 16 when she made The Wizard of Oz, and her struggles with depression and disordered eating started in early age and continued for the rest of her life. She claimed that the studio executives gave her uppers and sleeping pills so she could keep up with the demanding pace of show business. She struggled with a drug addiction and attempted suicide several times before she died of an accidental overdose on June 22nd, 1969, at just 47 years old. Quote unquote, if she was a normal kid, allowed to go to a normal school, and not come into the industry until she was an adult, says Hermes, I doubt the tragedy that became her life in her last years would have happened. So that's it for that. I'm moving forward. I thought it was longer. It's not. This is from who? CBS Radio, posted August 23rd, 2019. Last updated. Last updated August 23rd, same date. I'm annoyed for no reason. Sorry. Well, but it was based on a book. It was also a play. The set got very, very hot. Because the film was among the earliest to be shot in Technicolor, it required large sets with cameras hidden in different corners and elaborate lighting that rendered the set suffocatingly hot. I'm going to breeze right through this because I heard that Judy was about to faint. It was so hot. We had enormous banks of light overhead, said the cinematographer Harold Rosson, Rosson. In the making of the Wizard of Oz, we borrowed every unused arc light in Hollywood. It was brutally hot. People were always fainting and being carried off the set. Some reports say that temperatures got up to 38 degrees Celsius. When the conditions became unbearable, director Victor Fleming would have the lights turned off and open the studio door so the actors could step outside. We borrowed every unused arc light in Hollywood. It was brutally hot. People were always fainting and being carried off set. Wizard of Oz cinematographer Harold Rosson. I just said that. The Scarecrow had it bad. Actor Buddy Ebsen, who later starred in the Beverly Hillbillies, really? Was originally cast as the Scarecrow, but popular Broadway actor Ray Bogan reported he didn't want to play in the Tin Woodman, so was given the part. He didn't want to play the Tin Woodman, so was given the part. So the Scarecrow didn't want to play the Tin Man, but he may have regretted it, in particular because of the face mask he had to wear. The mask wasn't porous, so you couldn't sweat. You couldn't breathe through your skin, he said in an interview. You don't realize how much you breathe through your skin until you can't do it. Every night it would take an hour for the makeup people to peel off the skin, to peel the mask off. And by the end of filming, he had permanent lines near his mouth and chin. Next, the Tin Woodman didn't have it much better. Actor Buddy Ebsen had originally been cast for the part of Tin Woodman, or the Tin Man, but had a serious reaction to the silver paint that he ended up in the hospital and ultimately had to leave production. Actor Jack Haley Haley, who played the Tin Man, didn't have to wear a mask like the Scarecrow, but the costume department pulled his hair back flat, then put a rubber skin over his head and behind his ears. Then they covered his face with cold cream and coated it with a wild chalk like substance and painted it white. Quote unquote. The ideal of the white suit was to close the ideal of the white stuff was to close my pores. So the silver paint that made me look like I was made of tin wouldn't damage my skin. They painted my face silver and glued on a silver nose. He remembered in an interview, they glued a strip of rubber that was supposed to be thin under my chin and glued each individual black rubber rivet to on my face. Then they painted my lips black because painting my lips silver made my mouth look too red. Toto was a female. Next, Toto was a female. The dog. People assumed Toto was a male dog, but it was actually a female canine terrier named Terry. Yeah, she broke her leg. And it turns out that the Wizard of Oz wasn't the pooch's first big picture. Prior to Oz, she had also appeared in Ready for Love and with Shirley Temple in Bright Eyes. In commas, she played a dog named Rags. For the Wizard of Oz, her salary was $125 a week, roughly 2,200 in today's dollars, which was more than. Can I get through this? Which is more than what many human actors received and roughly 10 times the minimum wage of the time. Terry ended up acting in 16 films and died at the age of 11. Oh, sorry. Next, that's so difficult. Munchkin. The Munchkins were underpaid. The Munchkins were an essential force throughout the Wizard of Oz, but the actors who played them didn't get much for their work. The Munchkins had absolutely gorgeous. A bunch of little huts that were the home of the Munchkins, and there were a parade of them down the left of the stage and to the right of the stage. This is a quote. And all the Munchkins lived there. So they lived, okay, and there were 135 of us. So Metro Goldwyn went to a lot of trouble to get a lot of people to work for them, said actor Jerry Marin, Maren, in an interview. Of course, we only got $50 a week, boo, quote unquote. I got to move forward because I'm tired. There were a whole lot of costumes. The director left partway through. Look it up. The Tin Woodman didn't have it. Oh. Hold on, y'all. I'm back on paper. Dorothy was almost a blonde. Early in the filmmaking process, The Wizard of Oz had several different directors, including Mervyn, Mervyn, Leroy, who was fired and replaced by George Cukor, Cukor, who also replaced him on Gone with the Wind. Cukor, next, the witch was afraid of burning the scarecrow. Next, but she ended up getting burned herself. They was getting hurt. Oh, okay. Several songs got cut. It got good reviews and some serious stinkers. They didn't think it would be a hit. It didn't make money right away. It won 2 Oscars, but not Best Picture. Next. All right. So now moving on to The Wiz. So that's one of my favorite movies. I have several favorite movies. The Wizard of Oz is the Wizard of Oz. But The Wiz, I remember going to the theater to see that. I was horrified. That subway scene in New York. They was on the train, and them things came out the pillars and the walls, and it was about to get Dorothy and them. I was mortified. I was that scared me so bad. And the bad part, that I can't even. I can't moving forward. And then that little bum that was controlling it. Ugh. Alright, The Wiz. One of my favorite movies. They play it like on the holidays, and I be there for it. And I love it. So this is some trivia. From The Wiz. This comes from IMDb. They have a trivia section or whatever. I have an IMDb page. So originally, I didn't know they had trivia. You can go on there and throw you a party, get you some trivia, whatever. Original director John Badham, Badham, stepped down when he objected to 33-year-old Diana Ross being cast as a teen Dorothy. The character was changed to a 24-year-old kindergarten teacher, but by then, Cindy Lumet, Lumet, had already replaced Badham, Badham. All right, I'm going to run through all this too. It was a book, Sidney Lumet. In his book, Making Movies, Sidney Lumet admits that filming the Emerald City sequence on the plaza at the World Trade Center had to be cut short because the wind and scheduling. The red sequence had to be shortened due to lighting area, and there was no time to reshoot. The Port Authority would not allow more time to fix mistakes. Because when I watch it, I don't see nothing wrong. Good for y'all. Next, the original New York City production of The Wiz opened at the Majestic Theater on January 5th, 1975, starring Stephanie Mills. And I went to see The Wiz. They had to come to Detroit. I remember. And I don't know, starring Stephanie Mills, it ran for 1,672 performances, won the 1975 Tony Awards for the Best Musical and Score, and was nominated for Best Book. According to her unauthorized biography, quote unquote, call her Miss Ross, Diana Ross was hospitalized and nearly blinded by a lighting effect used in the movie. Oh, back to The Wizard of Oz. Because that scene where they was in the poppy field and it was snowing and stuff. That was asbestos. The stuff that causes cancer. So they was using asbestos as fake snow. So Dorothy and them was up in there like, whatever, I'm about to die. Next, the first song that Michael Jackson sings, You Can't Win. Okay. Woo, I was about to go into a was originally written for the stage version for the Winkies to sing. I think the Winkies, to sing to Dorothy about the, I don't know that word, fertility of escaping from Evelyn. The song was cut from the stage version of the musical during previews, but was included in the film as the Scarecrow's song. Yeah. Next, the duet between Michael Jackson and Diana Ross on Ease on Down the Road. I can't help myself, was released as a single by MCA Records in September 1978. The single just missed the top 40 radio pop charts, stalling at number 41. However, the song hit number 17 on the Billboard Hot Soul single charts that same year, because it's the jam. And Eartha Kitt was the first choice for the role of Evelyn. At the time of the production, Sidney Lumet was the son-in-law of Lena Horne, Glinda the Good Witch. At the time of production, the director, Sidney Lumet, was the son-in-law of Lena Horne. Nepotism, man. Get it. Next, Joel Schumacher used his connections in the fashion industry to produce the hundreds of costumes used in the Emerald City sequence. I don't know if y'all saw The Wiz. That Emerald City sequence. It just made me feel proud. When I watch The Wiz, I just be feeling like, especially that scene, that Emerald City sequence, and they just be like, I will never be seen in green. I never be caught in dead red. Like, they were serving it up. I'm getting excited. Next, the scene in which the Cowardly Lion emerges from one of the statues in front of the main research branch of the New York City Public Library was shot on a set instead of the actual location because it was logistically impossible to film an entire scene devoid of people, save the main actors without traffic and pedestrians getting in the way of production. You can't do that. You better make you a set, because I'm going to be walking to the store. I'm going to see y'all shooting The Wiz. Y'all might see me in the background. Next, Ted Ross reprised his role as the Cowardly Lion from the 1974 Broadway production. All right, next, Stephanie Mills, who starred in the Broadway production, was the top choice to play Dorothy in the movie before Diana Ross lobbied for the role. Many considered Diana Ross at 34 too old to play Dorothy, with Mills being 21. Dorothy is no older than 10 years old in the original book, and she's 12. Played by a 16-year-old, in parentheses, in The Wizard of Oz. For Diana Ross, Dorothy's age was adjusted to 24. Next, the CBS television network's eyeball logo, slightly modified with the O and the Z in the middle of the walking microphone and the camera, was used in the Emerald City dancing scenes. I noticed that. Next, simultaneously with the release of the film, Congoleum, Congoleum, the flooring company that designed the look of the yellow brick road for the film, also marketed the same design, called the yellow brick road, for home use. Getting into Michael Jackson. In 2003, Entertainment Weekly magazine named the film number 21 of the 50 top cult movies. It is a cult flick. I'll watch it right now. I got that. Not JJ. Jimmy J.J. Walker was originally considered for the part of the Scarecrow. He turned it down, and the part was given to Michael Jackson. JJ, move. We want Michael. Next, Robin Givens debut as a guest as at Aunt M's party. I saw that. I saw that. It was a lot. Let me tell y'all, when I did a little digging or whatever, when at Aunt M's party, when they was singing and stuff, oh, I love that movie. They was singing and stuff at the table. It reminds me of Thanksgiving dinner in my family in Chicago. Yeah, it hits home. We all get together and we eat and laugh and love and pray and play cards and drink, basically, and have fun or whatever. So that scene was just like, oh, what's her name, John? Robin Givens was at that party. Now, she was a kid at that party. Now I got to watch it again and see. But listen, y'all, what I found, a lot of people were in that scene. Like established actors today. They were young, unestablished, and they was at that party. They was at M's party, child. First role in which Richard Pryor would wear his mustache as a permanent part of his popular image. In parentheses, having only worn one occasionally in previous roles. Oh, Richard, you let your first role in which Richard Pryor would wear his mustache. Okay. Next, the name of the wicked witches in this version are Eveline and Evermean. Who is Evermean? In the original Oz novels, they were unnamed. Other authors have created their own names for the witches over the years in different productions and writings. Next, in 1965, Diana Ross and the Supremes performed as a warm-up act for Judy Garland at the Astrodome Theater in Houston. Garland played Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz in 1939. Okay. Next, the snow bunnies in all of the close-up shots were related to the stars of the movie. Snow babies shot in the background were dolls. Y'all talking about the snow babies in all of the close-up shots. I have. Y'all, these the babies that when Glinda, the Good Witch of the West or the North or South or whatever, it was a bunch of babies. Cute babies. Them close-ups was babies of them. They belong to them, y'all. But when you look at it again, and when they pull back, it's a bunch of babies. Them was dolls. Them close-ups was real, and they was related to all of them. That's right. You better put my niece in here. You better put my niece in here. You better put my nephew in here. Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel. I used to watch them as a kid. They did the movie critiques. Roger and Gene, Ebert and Siskel, or Siskel and Ebert, whatever. Both gave 2 thumbs up on The Wiz. Who is killing the great chefs of Europe? Girlfriends, The Big Fix, Days of Heaven, 1978. So, yeah, I used to watch them. Them two men. They gave it 2 thumbs up. Thanks. Final film of Lena Horne. Ooh. Lena. Oh, sorry, Lena. This is the final film of Lena Horne. It was the debut of a singer, actress, Cissy Houston. Debut? Sissy girl. Where was Whitney? Whitney wasn't even born. Or maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Excuse the flapping. This was Sidney Lumet's only musical. Comedian Doug Benson cites this as his first movie debut, claiming to have been an extra. It was a lot of extras in there. I told y'all he was in there. Next, including among the American Film Institute's 2004 list of 400 movie nominations for the top 100 Americans' greatest music in the movies for the song Ease on Down the Road. Oh my God, next. One of two mid 1970s rock music slash musical pictures inspired by The Wizard of Oz. The other was an Australian movie called 20th Century Oz, 1976. I got to go. Diana Ross and Richard Pryor had previously appeared together in Lady Sings the Blues. Okay, y'all. Sorry. Why am I upset? In the early 1970s, the canned singing voices of Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 were used in cartoons, where other actors provided the speaking voices included Donald Fully Love, Fullilove as Michael, and the Wizard of Soul, 1971. Michael played the Dorothy role in the Wizard of Oz spoof. I got to go. With a budget of $24 million and only making $13.6 million in theaters, the original release was a loss for Motown and Universal of $10.4 million. They, however, received $10 million from CBS when they sold the broadcast rights to the television. It went on to become a cult movie favorite. So yeah, that sound like Even Steven to me. Spoilers. This movie changed Dorothy's shoes from ruby slippers to black silver slippers, as in the original L. Frank Baum story. Possible reasons include using Baum as source material, not the Wizard of Oz, and the silver slippers better matched Diana Ross's complexion and costuming. Oh, The Wiz also has two good witches. Ada Pearl, and Glinda, like the original book, but not in the 1939 film. The Scarecrow's nose tip is the piece of a brown paper that holds a Reese's peanut butter cup. I knew that. And when you look at it, it does. And I like Reese's cups. The lion is wearing platform shoes. Boot heels were built under his costume paws so Ted Ross could balance better as he was walking around the set. What is his name? Ted Ross, child. You did that in them heels, huh? Nah. Back to the lion. I probably skipped it. With the Wizard of Oz, with Judy Garland. That suit he had on was real lion skin, and he was sweating up a storm. Peter would have been all over you. Now, that costume he was wearing, yeah, that was real. It was real skin. Next. When the flying monkeys appear in front of Eveline after being summoned, Cheetah says to her, "What's happening?" Oh, them flying monkeys, y'all got to see. The Wiz is awesome. The masks that they had on, oh, they look so ugly. Ugh. And I remember one of them saying, "What's happening?" His name is Cheetah, I guess. He says, "What's happening?" Mabel King was then starred in the TV show What's Happening. So when the flying monkeys appeared in front of Eveline after being summoned, Cheetah says to her, quote unquote, "What's happening?" Mabel King was then, because Mabel was Eveline, and she got up there and was mean. And then y'all, all them little slaves broke out their little ugly costumes. I love that movie. The sun came out when Eveline got flushed down that toilet. The sun came out, y'all, and they took them ugly things. Brand new day, can't you see a brand new day? I'm about to cry. Get it together, girl. Get it together, child. And they were The dancers were beautiful. And they just was like, can you see a brand new day? Like, she's dead. She's dead. And it was awesome. Awesome. The choreography, awesome. Okay, stop. I'm about to cry. Mabel King was in a TV show called What's Happening. Last one. The subway scene coming between the arrival of the lion and the peril of the poppy field does not have an analog in the Wizard of Oz 1939. It may represent part in the book where Dorothy and company were pursued by the Kalidas, Kalidahs, a kind of bear tiger cinema. Whatever, child. I'm about to get off. So yeah, the Wizard of Oz is a staple in American film, and so is The Wiz. My name is Erica LaShawn. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome. It's 1:20. Oh, it's another day. 1:20, 24, 1:21 a.m. My birthday is 1:24. Every year I'll be like, again? I'm like, what? My name is Erica LaShawn. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.